Hey, my name is Angela Quijada Banks, and I'm the author of The Black Foster Youth Handbook, which became an international bestseller and nominated for the 52nd annual NAACP Image Awards. That's really exciting. And so today, I really want to help you become an author or just get back into writing, but mainly to become a published author. So I self-published my book, and these are really like the first 5 steps to help you start writing your book today, all right, or continue. So the first step is you need to identify a place that is in your home or outside of your home that you can really think and write. So for me, I started out because it was before the pandemic. I was able to go to like Starbucks. I also loved the library, so I went to the library a lot to just think and write. And it didn't have to be like specifically all the different things that were going to be in my book, but just getting your thoughts on paper and creating a consistency of you writing is really, really helpful. So that way, when you do decide to write about something specific, those creative juices can just flow and you're already in the consistency of, in the habit of like, okay, like I can write this. So that's step one. Find a space to think and to write. And it can be multiple spaces. It can be the beach. It can be your friend's house. It can be a garage. It can be anywhere. So you just have to identify a space that you're able to like think and get your ideas out of your head and on paper. So, step two would be mind mapping. So, really thinking about, what do I really want in my book? And to really start doing that would be to mind map. So, how can I start um, getting my ideas on paper? So, for me, I like to mind map a lot. So, I'll show you this right here. This is one of my mind maps. So as you can see, it's like all these types of arrows and stuff. Um, that's one of them. I have one that's like it's like the main topic, and then I kind of like draw arrows into things specific to that topic, but it's like smaller ideas that are related to that topic. I'll show you a different type of one. Oh yeah, I've done one like this as well. That's like different boxes, and I put stuff in the boxes. And then I'll show you one more. Oh yeah, this is one that the main idea is like on the top. So I put the main idea on the top, and then I put something in the circle, and then I like put arrows to specific things about that thing in the circle, and I do that again, and then I think there's only two here, but you can do as many as you want just to get your brain like going and to get it, like I said, out of your brain and on paper, because it's not in the physical world unless you get it out into the physical world. And for ideas, that means, writing it or drawing it. It's not enough to just say it out loud. So that's step two. Step three would be to choose your framework, right? So, what is the type of book that you're trying to write? Is it a fiction novel? Is it nonfiction? Is it a memoir? You have to get really clear on like what it is you're trying to write and then break it down. So um, does that look like you're trying to have different chapters? Does that look like you need different sections of the book that break down into chapters? So, for instance, that can be like, let's say you're doing a fiction book, right? So, you're writing a fiction book. You aren't really sure about the title. So, you can do something like have a clear sheet of paper, and you can do something like you write title right on the piece of paper. You can't really see it, right? How do I? Yeah, so you write title, right? So I need to write the title. And then you can go down and think about like what is really the concept of the book, you know? Why do I want to write this book? That's really important because that will then help you navigate all the different aspects of writing a book. So, what is the purpose of writing this fiction book in this scenario? Maybe it's because you really want to share parts of your story, but you don't really want to tell people that it's you. So you want to make it to a fiction story. So that's awesome. So then you can say, like, specifically to get out the word about, I don't know, my struggle with anxiety, right? So you can say, I have a really huge struggle with anxiety. So I want to write this fiction book in order to help others cope and heal from, having chronic anxiety. So you know your why. So you write that down. My why is anxiety and all the things. And then, what specific topics do you want to hit about overcoming anxiety? So you can choose like 3 main ones, 5 main ones, and then you can break it down, right? So if it's 3 main ones, then you can do like 3 different sections of the book, right? So let's say there's 3 main topics. So on the piece of paper, you would see that you have title and then 3 main topics, which would be 3 different aspects of the book. And then you can break it down into chapters. So you could do 3 chapters per section. So 3 chapters per section is 9 chapters altogether for your book. And maybe one last chapter specifically to wrap everything together, right? For like a conclusion. So we're going to put like a star and then conclusion chapter. So all together, you would have 3 sections in your book and you would have 3 chapters for each section, which would be 9 chapters plus the last chapter equals 10 chapters, right? So that's kind of like what a framework would look like. Let's see if you can see that. Yep. So 3 different main ideas, 3 chapters for each main idea, and then one conclusion. So that's what you need to think about is how do I want to, put my book together? How do I want it to come together? And what is really the fluidness of it? So that's not necessarily the framework, but also the outline. So thinking about your outline, and I don't know what number I am now, maybe number 4, but you create your outline and you think about, how do I want this book to go from start to finish? How do I want to start? Where do I want to start? What story do I want to start on? And what story do I want to end on? So that way, you know your beginning and your end, you're keeping the end in mind with your why, and then you fill in the middle. All right, and I think that was all of the ones that I wanted to share. One was identifying a space to think and write. 2, create a mind map. 3, choose a framework. 4, create your outline. And 5 would be to get started. 5 is, you really need to get started. You really need to think about how do you want to um, move forward? How do you want to take this first step? And whether that looks like you talking to different people about this specific idea that you have for your book, or that looks like going through your journal if you have a journal and getting some inspiration from your previous work. Um, Another thing that would really, really help, and I guess this is just a bonus tip, but would be like reading books. Like if you're not a reader already, definitely read because you're able to see through the different books, other authors' framework, other authors' ways that they've written the book, and you can get some inspiration from that. Not copying. Okay, getting copying and inspiration are 2 different things. Inspiration is like, how can I tell my message with this framework? And copying is doing the exact same thing as someone else. So you don't want to do that. You want to be your own unique person, and you can be inspired by something, but definitely don't take anybody's ideas. Um, so yes, those are the five. I'm like looking at my notes to see if I have anything else now. But if you do need any extra support, then I am currently offering author coaching. So if you are interested in becoming an author and you're like, you know what, I actually do need some support, I do need some help, then definitely reach out. I'll probably leave a link or something below. But I hope this was helpful. Let's get your book done, with or without me. And I hope you're having an incredible day, and I'll talk to you soon.